Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is Orange Lion takeover time in the pool. We're here with Tomas Cakulev. Did I get it right? Nailed it. Senior here at Orange High School, a swimmer. In swimming, Thomas, it's not always a sport that everybody has their eyes on because it's so hard to make out what's going on other than people flying up and down the lanes. For you, what got you started in swimming? What keeps you going?
So I remember the first time I got into swimming, it was my friend when I was 10 years old, and he brought me to one of the practices at Hawk and Lower with one of the local teams here. It's a private club. And then I think just the fact that every team gets to bond with their friends, like, like maybe in the practice you're not able to talk to your friends that much because you're always swimming. So I think a lot of the development comes outside of practice. So talking with friends, hanging out with those friends, and then going to the meets to compete with them, and even competing times with each other. I think it just builds like brotherhoods basically, and that's what really got me into swimming.
So you're a very competitive guy.
Sure, yeah.
It feels like. I mean, just from having that initial question, what other things are you competitive in? I mean, is it like everything you do, or is it you just pick and choose?
I I like to compete in a lot of what I do. Whether that be like academics or just maybe even competing with myself to try and make myself be better. Like I know in practice, a lot of the times what motivates me is to try and beat my old times. So even when it gets tough to like push through a set, you got to think about if you want to improve those little tiny seconds. It's just pushing yourself even further, and that's the way I see it with everything that I do.
What are some of the points of adversity that you faced in your young life, right? 17, 18 years old. What are some of the points of adversity that you can look at and say, okay, I'm better because I went through this?
I think both outside the pool and inside, just failure in general. So outside the pool, maybe if it was like taking a hard class. I remember my freshman year, I took a really hard class, and I wanted to drop out, but I didn't. And after that, I developed like a routine with all my academical things, and I was able to study on time, get my work done on time, and that kind of translates to the pool, where if I didn't have a good meet or I had an off year, which I remember my freshman and sophomore year, it was a little tough because we had on and off coaches, and it wasn't until this year where we had Wally step up for both my junior and senior year. I think maybe not putting up the times that I wanted, and then having to come back to practice and still be motivated to try and get better. I think that just gives you a sense of perseverance and something that you can teach, but I think you need the right coach to do that, and I think Wally does that perfectly.
So when you are in the pool, a little bit different than everybody else. I mean, I guess you can nowadays wear earbuds and things like that. How do you stay motivated? Is it music? I mean, do you hear music in your head? Are you a quote guy? How do you stay motivated before, during, and after events?
So before the events, I have my like little rituals. I like to play specific songs. Like I have my own playlist. I like to listen to like a lot of older music. Like I have a playlist with 50 Cent or like.
I feel terrible. That's like my generation of music. All right, 50 Cent.
I really like to play "It Was a Good Day" by Ice Cube before I swim. Just like songs that kind of like not too fast, not too slow, just like not to get me too amped up before a race. But I like to wear my headphones, try to zone out. I keep my goggles on, my cap on before the event. I like to wear my sweater so that I stay warm. And just like I do my little stretches. That's before the race, and then after the race, if I had a bad race, I'll try to congratulate the swimmers next to me, and then just talk to my coach, see what I can do better, see what I did do good, what I can improve on, and then just move on because it was in the past.
Swimming is one of the most sportsman-like sports there are. I mean, you talk about swimming and wrestling; that's pretty much top of the list. Do you learn that at a very early age? Being a competitive guy too, that's got to be tough sometimes to tell somebody else that they did a good job when they did maybe a little better than you. You know, sometimes. So for you, how did you and when did you learn that sportsmanship that is the swimming community?
So I think a lot of the swimmers know each other actually. So it's really, I think for how long I've been into swimming, I get to know a lot of the swimmers around here. So it's a little more comfortable for me to just go up to them and tell them nice race. But even when I don't know them, I think even from a young age, our coaches have always told us to never like be braggadocious after a meet or anything. and just congratulate your swimmers all the time because you don't really want to look like you're flaunting or anything.
Sure.
Even if you lose the race, it's bad to be bad sportsman-like. So I think it's just always been instilled in us.
So when you look at people that you admire inside the pool, outside the pool, who are some of the people that you key on?
In terms of high school,
Anywhere. I mean, it could be Olympics. It can be the people in your neighborhood, whoever you look towards and look up to.
so out in terms of professional, there's like a new guy, Leon Marchand.
Okay.
Not really new, but he's been killing it in the NCAA's Olympics. He just broke the 400 IM record. But freshman year, I had a swimmer, Lily Klingy-Smith, who really kind of like taught me how to push myself at practice, even when I was like slacking off or like skipping a part of a set or something. She'd tell me to keep going, and I think I credit her with a lot of my improvements, even when I might not have liked my coach that much those 2 years, my freshman and sophomore year. And I think I credit a lot of what I do because of her in the pool.
What about out of the pool? Who are your role models?
I think my parents, of course, and my little brother actually, because he's also having a really good season this year. He's been swimming good. I think he'll be faster than me. And I think my parents got me into the sport. They've supported me when it's become tough. I had like rough years with swimming, and like 11 through 13, and they told me to keep going. And I think that's one of the biggest motivators for me.
Shout out to your little brother.
Yeah. Shout out to Johnny Cakulev. He's on the middle school team.
When sounds like you're a motivated guy. Are there quotes that motivate you? Is there a quote you live by?
It's really funny you asked this because I was actually talking to my coach about this. So he has 10 two-letter words that motivate us, and it's if it is to be, it is up to me, which it just means like if you can get it done, it's up to you. So I think about that quote a lot, both in like a funny way and also a serious way. So at practice, if I'm thinking about if I want to go to the podium at states, it's going to be up to me to do it at practice. So I think that's one of the best.
That's a
quotes
great one, dude.
I'd love
Thomas,
to.
thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
Appreciate you. And we'll be right back right after this on YSN.